Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're going to do a solo playthrough of Glass Road, designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by Z-Man Games. There it is. So I'm waiting for Monica to start feeling better for us to be able to finish our Gloomhaven playthrough, and I have been hearing that I've been doing a lot of the same type of games. So I thought, you know what, a nice little Euro might be something a little different for the channel so you guys can see something else. I'm definitely not the best at Euros, but I certainly love them. They're some of my favorite competitive games because they don't attack players normally, and that's the type of game that I enjoy the most. So we'll just see how this game plays solo. This video will be all about how to set it up. If you want to just jump right to the playthrough, feel free to check out the video below this on the playlist. Over on the left side here, we have our resource board. This is every person who plays this will have their own resource board. So this is ours. And then this is our player board. Now the player board has these removable cardboard chits on here, and they denote forests, groves, pits, and ponds. You can see on the player board where these things start off, and then during the playthrough, you'll be removing them, adding them, stuff like that. Now, if you guys notice, I found all the fun cardboard chits here that have the cool little pieces on them. So if you can see here, there's a castle here. There's Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. You can see that if you can see it over there. Here's a hot air balloon. There's a huge water thing going on in this pond. Yeah, really fun. Hopefully you guys can see all of those. I really enjoy it. Over here on the left side of the board, it shows you the 3 basic ways at the beginning of how you can score victory points. This is trying to beat your own score victory point game, although they say 30 points is a very good game. I have never gotten 30. We're not going to get 30 on this playthrough unless I get extraordinarily lucky. But we get 1 victory point per glass that we have made. We get half a victory point. Yes, that is a half. Don't ask me why they do halves. There's a half a victory point per sand that we have at the end of the game, and 1 victory point per brick that we have in the game. You can see over here our resources that we have are glass, sand, food, coal, water, and wood. And then we have brick over here, coal again, clay, and food again. So we actually have food and coal on both of these trackers. And so every time we gain or lose them, we get to decide which tracker we want to use. Now, how this tracker works is really cool. Let me show you. If you look at the tracker closely here, we've got 2 zeros, and then this counts up 1 to 7, and this counts from 1 to 3. How you make glass, you never are going to just instantly create glass and move this glass up. What you're going to do is create these other resources, and then what happens is, let's say if we made 2 sand, we'd move it up to here, and then you see how there's a space here now? We would move this 1 over, and now we have 1 glass. But that took 1 of every one of these goods. So now we don't have any more food. We have 1 coal and 1 sand, 2 water, and 3 wood. But let's say now we make some more food, and the food comes all the way over here. All of a sudden we move this again, and now we have 2 glass. I just love how this works. So there are times when you might not want to make more glass, but you automatically do. When you move those goods over, you automatically make more glass, up to 3. And you do the same thing for the brick. As you can see, it's a little easier to make the brick. It's just coal, clay, and food. So as we move these up, this will move over and we gain more brick, and then we can use the brick, and then maybe we get more of these resources, etc., etc. Just really love this mechanic. The meat and the potatoes of the game is the 15 workers or specialists that you have, and you will choose a certain amount of these each round to use and employ to help you create the best plot of land with the best buildings and the highest victory points. Now, these workers, they've got top and bottom actions, as well as they might have a cost. So this tells you how much it costs, and then depending on when you play this card in the solo mode, you might just get one of the benefits or potentially both of them. And some of them, they're different. So that guy was all about clay. But the supplier, you can actually get 1 good of any choice and do a building. And it doesn't cost anything to do it. So it's really cool. Or, hey, the slash and burn farmer, you get rid of 1 forest and you can get coal or food, or potentially both of those. And I'll show you how that works in the playthrough. But what you'll do is you'll get these workers together and put them in your hand, because you get to choose a certain amount of them each round based on which round you're at. In the solo game consists of 7 rounds. And each round, this number here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, denotes how many specialists we get to use for that specific round. So in round 1, we'll grab 3 specialists. In round 2, we'll grab 4. The only trick is, after we've grabbed the 3 specialists for round 1, they're not available for us for round 2. Then round 3, they'll come back, but the ones in round 2 will be inaccessible. And so you have to kind of plan out your actions a little bit more in the solo mode because of that. But then Uwe throws in another wrench, and that's when you are playing your workers or your specialists. Unlike in the competitive version of the game where you get to choose which ones you do, you're going to shuffle them up and randomly draw them. And you'll see how that works in the playthrough. It's really cool. It provides a little bit of it provides replayability because you just don't really know what's going to happen. You can pick the same workers every time, and different things can happen depending on what happens first. It's really cool. Finally, what we'll want to do is set up our buildings board. Now, there are 2 sides to this. This is the 1 through 3 side, and there is a 4 version if you're playing with 4 people, because then you've just got more buildings to choose from. But obviously, we're playing the solo game, so we'll use the 1 to 3 side. There are 3 types of buildings. You have your processing buildings, your immediate buildings, and your bonus buildings. Think of your processing buildings as they give you additional free actions you can do all the time, and they let you convert goods. So let's draw our first one, just so you can see. We have our charcoal kiln. We can convert 1 wood to 2 charcoal at any time. It gives us 0 victory points, and it costs 3 clay to build. So what we'll do is we'll fill this up with 4 potential buildings that we can make. Oh, cool. So the swamp hut, we can remove a pond and gain 2 charcoal. That's cool. And we can do that as many times as we want, as long as we have the resources to do it. The immediate buildings here give us a one-time ability. So, for an example, this one, the hot springs here, it costs 2 glass and 2 clay to make. And then we can, for every 1 of our charcoal, we get 1 water. I think that's what that means. Yep, on 1, and we do that on 1 of the production wheels. So we get 1 charcoal for every 1 water. Hope I said that right. That's worth 4 victory points. That's pretty cool. Let's fill these up. Let's see what else we've got. We got something about pits. Ooh, we got a one-time just 4 wood. We got lumber storage. And we've got Sand Island. Oh, wow. There's a lot of things about sand so far. That's cool. So then the final ones down here, these are the bonus buildings. They're all about victory points. So this one, we've got the woodcarver's house. We get 1 victory point per 2 sets of wood, which is awesome. And that costs 1 glass and 1 clay to build. We also have the coal facility. That's 1 victory point per coal. Ooh, on the wheel with the least charcoal. And that's crazy. Wow, so you'd have to try and get them both up high. Estate, 2 victory points per set of the 3 different types of land. And the warehouse, 1 victory point per resource marker on position 4, 5, or 6. Whoa, so you see, these provide you with tons of different strategies. And then throughout the game, you can try and decide, or you might have to change because you'll get new buildings that'll come out. Because these stacks, you probably can't see them, but these stacks are huge. Look at, that's just the bonus buildings. So we're playing with tons here. So we'll see what we decide to do together. And that's the setup. Hope you guys are excited for the playthrough. It's really fun, really enjoyable. It reminds me a ton of Gates of Loyang, which is another really good Euro engine building solo. This one really isn't about engine building though, it's more about resource management, but I like it because it's so quick, so fun, and yet I do feel like there's tons of strategy in the game. And every time I play it, I choose a different strategy. So it's really cool.